This time last week, on the 13th of May, I decided to conduct my media fast. I did attempt it on the Sunday, but I failed miserably and was on Facebook before midday. This time, however, I was much more determined to do the full 24 hours, and I tried to stick to the brief as best I could, but I did have a lecture on the Monday, 2-hour sociology one, and they have incorporated PowerPoint presentations into their teaching, which meant I wasn't media free, I will admit, but I actively tried to avoid certain forms of media I would normally consume on a daily basis at an unbelievable amount. Social networking, Facebook, Twitter, the whole lot. No email, no Wikipedia, no Google searches, no Spark Notes, no BBC News, nothing. There are obviously some forms of media that I can't avoid, like that. Not to mention we have a similar thing in our kitchen. There's graffiti outside the block. There are signposts everywhere telling you where to go and how to find things. There are posters up and down the spine advertising things like grad ball. And obviously, because of external forces and whatnot, you cannot avoid these. I think this brings to light how deeply rooted media is in our society, that even though you try and actively avoid them, you still can't. I also became aware of how difficult it would be to truly separate all forms of media from our daily routines and lives. The media fast was really uneventful and quite boring and slow-paced, in fact. In retrospect, compared to a normal day, it was slow-paced, I will admit. I spent most of my day outside or doing chores, like cleaning my room, tidying the kitchen. That was pretty dull, I won't lie. I found it difficult to begin with when I tried to differentiate media from non-media. Obviously, media, technology, that kind of stuff, but reading, checking my watch for the time, they're both forms of media because they communicate a message, and realising this, I didn't do any reading, revising, shame. Obviously, I could not check my watch for the time, so I was unable to cut that from my routine. Towards the day, though, things got a lot easier. I spent some time with my friends, and I was distracted, so I wasn't so aware of how dependent I was on media. I did, admittedly, have to hand my phone over to my flatmate Rebecca, because I was so tempted to check Facebook earlier in the day, and I was really scared that I was going to have to, but I didn't, yay. Yeah, with the media immersion, I found my day was much more eventful. Things were going on, I was reading about people's lives, gossip, admittedly, and the day started quite ironically. I think it was a fire alarm. Nothing serious, but I think fire alarms are probably one of the most important forms of media. They communicate a message, which is about saving lives. So yeah, I was obviously able to use media freely, but writing it down made me more conscious of how often I access social networking sites and how often I check my phone. And it's quite unnerving, really. I check my Facebook and Twitter more often than I check the time. So maybe that shows how truly ingrained social networking and really all forms of media are in our society, and in my life as well. I didn't, compared to everybody else, I thought, I was quite not dependent, but obviously I am. The media fast and the media immersion made me realise how dependent we are on media, and I also feel that we kind of take media for granted, and we forget the benefits of media and how convenient it makes our lives. With things like the compression of time and space, media has obviously allowed us to bridge these, and they're no longer an issue as they were in the past. And I think people often forget that, and that's something that the media fast and then immersion has taught me. So yeah, thank you very much.